All right, Smitha, thank you. Last night's deal is setting the stage for a tougher battle in Washington. Republicans hope to pass a 2012 budget through the House next week that calls for sweeping changes in Medicare and Medicaid.
And joining us on the phone right now to talk about that last-minute budget deal is Michigan Republican Congresswoman Candice Miller. And Congresswoman, what's your take on how things played out last night?
Well, you know, we were all pretty certain by the end of the evening that there would be a shutdown, but as you've reported, it has been averted at least for another 6 days here. They did come to an agreement. We passed a bridge, if you will, for the 6 days, and it'll keep the government operating until the final vote on this continuing resolution, and that proposal is for $39 billion in cuts. And also next week, the Republicans are going to be debating on the floor our real budget going forward, which we call the Path to Prosperity for the 2012 year, because what we've been arguing about actually is last year's budget that was never passed when the Democrats had a majority in the House, the Senate, the presidency. They never even passed a budget, which we're already halfway through. So I would just say in context, this entire debate is a debate about changing the culture of Washington from one of spending to one of cutting spending.
Congresswoman, funding for Planned Parenthood seemed to be a major sticking point. Were you surprised such a social issue was so much a part of this?
Actually, that, in my mind, was very much political spin, because really this entire debate was always about spending. It was always about spending, and I think Americans need, and they deserve to know the facts, not spin. I mean, this is about their lives, and I think being honest with the American people about our nation's financial outlook. This debate is about spending. We can't keep piling a mountain of debt on our children, our grandchildren, because if we do not make these difficult choices, the next generation is going to have less opportunity, less freedom, certainly less economic freedom.
And Congresswoman, real quick here, as we move on to the next budget debate here, there's going to be talk about sweeping issues to Medicare, sweeping cuts to Medicare and Medicaid. What's your message going to be to the House leadership about that?
I think what we need to do is make sure that we protect Medicare, Medicaid for this generation and save it for the generations to come. In other words, the debate just at the outset, it takes off the table any change in any of these entitlements to anybody who is 55 years of age or older. So if you are already 55 or older, nothing is going to change for you. But we are looking at some reforms on how we could preserve Medicare, Medicaid for those that are coming. And as you know, when you talk to people in their 30s right now or whatever, they'll just tell you, well, we don't think we're going to get any of this anyway because it's unsustainable on its current path.
All right, Congresswoman, thanks so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, and coming up.